Welcome to Energy Toning, where I talk about all things energy medicine, consciousness, and how to live your most healthy life. Hi everyone, welcome to Energy Toning. My name is Liz, and today I'm going to talk about the bioenergetic link between depression, tinnitus, heart conditions, and more. So when we think about health, we mostly refer to what we can touch, feel, and see, but there is a whole other layer to consider. So today I want to talk about heart and kidney health from a bioenergetic point of view, and its impact on the brain and the processing of emotions, and the role of the heart and or kidneys possibly play in conditions like tinnitus or other cognitive problems. But first of all, I want to clarify what bioenergetics actually is. So bioenergetics is the biology of energy transformation and energy exchanges within and between living things and their environments. So the field of bioenergetics might look at how our heart communicates with our brain via informational pathways. And on a physical level, this is one good example because the heart and the brain both share similar neurons. Dr. Armour in 1991 discovered that the heart has its little brain or intrinsic cardiac nervous system. And I'll leave the links to this below as to where I'm citing this. And this heart brain is composed of approximately 40,000 neurons that are like neurons in the brain, meaning that the heart has its own nervous system. In addition, the heart communicates with the brain in many ways, neurologically, biochemically, biophysically, and energetically. So the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body, carries information from the heart and the other internal organs to the brain. And he also found that the heart sends more signals to the brain than the other way around. So on a more esoteric, energetic, or emotional level, this has interesting correlations to common sayings in everyday life like, listen to your heart, or what does your heart tell you? And we say these things without even fully considering their implications. So in Chinese medicine, the heart is considered the emperor and therefore the ruler of the body, and is correlated with the positive emotion of joy and the negative emotion of hatred. So on an emotional level, if our heart is hurting, it can interfere with the informational transfer to the brain and affect its optimal functioning, hence the link to depression, cognitive decline, or tinnitus. Interestingly, the heart also has a much larger magnetic field than the brain, and so from the bioenergetic point of view, it makes perfect sense that the heart receives information before the brain does. So how are the kidneys and the heart connected in a physical sense? So the kidney's job is to filter blood that has been pumped from the heart. It also helps regulate the water and salt levels to control blood pressure. And recent research has shown that heart failure is a risk factor for patients with chronic kidney disease. I'll leave the links for that citation below. When the kidneys become impaired, the hormone system, which regulates blood pressure, goes into overdrive in an attempt to increase blood supply to the kidneys. And the heart then has to pump against higher pressure in the arteries and eventually suffers from the increase in workload. So when we think about the bioenergetic connection between the heart and the kidneys, in Chinese medicine, as well as other energy medicine modalities like Ness Health, the kidneys are seen as a driver of life force energy. And they house the adrenal glands, which have an impact on the hormonal system also. But there's also a strong non-physical component to this life force energy, just as there is a non-physical component to our emotions. So energy medicine modalities approach health in a way that is preventative rather than curative. So to get to the bottom of kidney, heart, or cognitive conditions, the practitioner first considers the energy flow of the whole system and sees the symbiotic relationship between the physical and the non-physical. So if someone suffers from tinnitus, depression, cognitive decline, or a heart condition, rather than looking at the brain or heart first, the bioenergetic practitioner also considers the kidney energy as well as the emotional disposition of the patient. So what might be some signs that your kidney energy is stagnated? So simply put, you might suffer from depression or have unexplained tinnitus or have no energy and have a lot of unresolved fear. And in order to feel better, you can practice Qigong to get stagnated energy flowing, which will have a direct impact on your physical health. You can use EFT to resolve emotional issues. which is a therapy which taps on certain Chinese meridian points in a certain sequence. And this modality has been very successful with helping veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder. You can also see a Chinese medicine practitioner, or you can see a Ness Health practitioner and get a body field assessment and follow recommendations. So I am a Ness Health practitioner, so you can get a scan from me if you're interested. I'll leave the links below. Also, it's worth addressing the biggest stresses in your life with cognitive behavioural therapy. And as always, practice meditation and or vocal toning to calm your nervous system and reduce the adrenaline being pumped around the body to allow the kidneys to rest. So it's also not recommended to do very strenuous exercise with kidney stagnation, as you could actually make the issue worse. So just think restorative exercises such as Qigong or Yin yoga, which is a lower key kind of yoga. So when it comes to assessing your informational flow, there are now modern ways of assessing it. As I mentioned, Ness Health scans are one of them. So in the past and today, Chinese medicine practitioners are trained to do what they've been doing for thousands of years by taking the time to feel around on their patient's wrists, and they're feeling out for a pulse, and they're feeling 3 specific areas on the wrist for different kinds of pulse, as I understand it. It might be more than that, but so they spend a lot of time just feeling the quality of that pulse, not so much how fast the pulse is going. But also, more modern ways now is, as I mentioned, Ness Health, you can do a bioenergetic scan. And their bioenergetic scans have evolved to the point that an assessment of energetic flow can simply be taken by the sound of a person's voice with specific voice technology. And so you can find more information about that in the links below, as I mentioned before. But if you do suffer from heart problems or depression or tinnitus or other cognitive issues, it might be worth considering the energy flow from your kidneys and how this flow connects up to the heart and then to the brain. And of course, there could be many other reasons why you're experiencing these health conditions, but from a bioenergetic point of view, this is one possibility. So that's it for today. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to email me at liz@energymedicinekey.com, or if you're listening to this on YouTube, just comment below and I will talk to you very soon. Just before you go, if you would like to get your own body field scanned, do check out the links below. This scan takes seconds, can be done in the comfort of your own home in front of your own computer.